You are a man.
Female.
You're a man.
I defend my right.
My daughter goes into those bathrooms and no man needs to be in there. You understand me?
I'm not a man.
You are a man. You are created as a man. You are a man. Start acting like a man. Act like a man.
Go! Do something!
Act like a man.
Give me a reason.
You're a man. Go act like one.
What
happened? Why? Why are you acting this way? I'm a man, so are you.
No, I'm not.
Then what are you?
I was born intersex, dude. Think you don't know what that is? I was born with both.
Sir, you're going to have a problem if you keep going into women's bathrooms. Somebody's going to do something to you. I'm just telling you the truth.
I've been doing this for years. You want to do something? Look outside.
Yeah, I did.
You think it's crazy that you're getting into a full-blown argument with this individual who we can... we have to be careful with the language we use here. But how would you feel if you were in an establishment, you let your little girl go into the toilet, and then said person walks in wanting to use the toilet? You would feel uncomfortable, right? Like I don't get why people want to go down this road and why people are being so accepting of it. Like I spoke to somebody and they were saying that men and women using the same bathrooms is not a problem.
The thing is that this person has said, I'm intersex. Do you believe that?
No.
No.
No, I don't believe them. How could you? I mean, you wouldn't. Someone that's behaving like that, I wouldn't take that.
If I was that man, I'd say to him, show me. Prove it. Show me. And if you show me a vagina, you can carry on using this toilet. But if you show me and I see a penis, you're not going back in, or we're going to scrap.
Yeah, I don't understand what the issue here is. Like, I don't even think most trans people would take the side of this person, because everyone should be able to understand that, fine, you want to identify however you want. That's up to you. That doesn't mean that society bends to how you see yourself.
No.
So if somebody walks in and wants to be referred to as a woman, whilst I don't subscribe to gender ideology, I would just use their name. Maybe they've got a female name. I ain't got no problem using that. If someone that looks like a Bob wants to be called Sally, then I'll call them Sally. I don't particularly care about that. But then if Sally says to me, I'm going to use that bathroom, of course there's going to be a problem. There's little girls in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that deep for them to be so adamant they want to use the other gender toilets anyway. Like, just use the gender toilet of what your private parts are. I think that is the best solution.
Yep.
Why is it? It's like they just want to prove a point by going into the opposite gender toilet. You don't need to do that. It's just it's not that deep for you to just go toilet in a place that is suited for what you biologically are.
Yeah, and shout outs to that man as well for defending the female space, because a lot of people are obviously scared to speak up about this stuff, and a lot of people will probably just let him waltz in and do whatever.
But I was going to say, I think, number one, a lot of women might be too scared to stand up to this person, because you can see this person's quite big. And you can see biologically it is a man, so strength-wise, you know that they're going to be a lot stronger. But I think people that do stand up for these kind of situations are the people that have kids, especially when they have daughters. A lot of dads are going to be very protective as well, and so they should, because it's not safe. Imagine he's waiting outside because he can't go in, and he sent his daughter in there alone to go thinking it's just going to be all women in there, and then a man walks out. It's not to say women can't do harm as well, but you know, it's a lot more
prevalent with men. It's a lot more prevalent with men. I'm sorry to say, it just is. That's just the way it is. And if you feel comfortable letting your little girl go into a toilet, then you can wipe the tears of your little girl if something happens to her. Can you imagine? You're just like, you take the off chance, because most people are not going to be scumbags and do something horrible like that. But on the off chance someone does, you've got to look at your little girl in the face now and explain to her why she was put in that situation.
Yeah, look, I think it's not the case of just looking and thinking that people are doing it for bad intentions or bad reasons. If somebody feels as though they are a woman and wants to identify as one and wants to use the female toilet because they want to live life as a woman, then you know they're harmless. They just want to feel I don't know, included, that's why they're going to do it. So it's not to say that every person who's doing it has the intention of, I don't know, looking at people of the opposite gender or potentially doing something harmful.
Yeah, not every person, but you don't know for certain if they're harmless.
There's always a risk with everything, but
yeah, I just don't know why they think it's okay to blur the lines. If somebody wants to identify as a Hitachi helicopter or a Mitsubishi or whatever, I don't care what it is, however ridiculous I might find it to be, that's up to you.
I know I can't get behind that.
Get behind what?
If somebody said to me, I identify as a helicopter, I'm not getting behind that, and I'm not referring to you as your preferred helicopter pronoun. Absolutely not, because now it's just ridiculous.
Well, to me, this is all ridiculous. So Sabi's line may be over here. My line's all the way over here. My line is where it was always for everybody else. And even though I find it all ridiculous, even though I don't subscribe to any of it, I'm not going to go out my way to try and piss people off face to face or ruin their days. But I'm also not going to bend to what makes you feel comfortable. Because what makes you feel comfortable makes me feel uncomfortable. And my comfort comes before your comfort. I'm not going to impede on you. I'm not going to do anything to you. But if I've got a little girl and she's going into the bathroom and I'm standing there, you're not going in. It's just not going to happen. Now, we can either settle it like men and, it can, if it has to come to fisticuffs, that's what it's going to be. Or you can use some common sense and walk away because you're in the wrong. It's not a case of beating somebody up to prove your dominance. And to be honest with you, if you end up beating me up, you just be proving my point. So I don't think I'm going to lose many fights to everyday women. Just leave it as is. Society is the way it is for a very good reason. I don't think we should be dissolving these things and allowing people to just, cross streams and like blur the lines. And it's all BS. And at the end of the day, women lose out here. Women are the only ones that lose out here. You never see it the other way around. It's always one way. Always that way. And the reason that we wouldn't even talk about it the other way, because what harm is going to come to me if a woman walks into the bathroom? Unless she's a complete psychopath. But that could be any guy that walks into the bathroom, right? The whole point is that men are much more physically imposing. They can literally insert themselves inside women, unwanted. I just don't know why it's hard to grasp that concept. And I don't understand how people that push for this can't see that maybe people that want to support you are not going to when you cross lines like this. If you want to go outside in your day-to-day and be Sally or whatever, in my opinion, you're not helping yourself. It's a detriment, and I think everybody around you is to your detriment if they're not pointing you in the right direction, but whatever, that's your own problem. As soon as you start telling me or telling other people how to live their lives, what we should accept and shouldn't accept, that's where you've crossed the line, and that's where you're going to lose this. And you will lose this. It might look like all sunshine and rainbows right now. YouTube's taking videos down. Whatever else is taking videos down. You get in trouble with X, Y, and Z. That's happening now. It's not always going to be that way. And more people are becoming exposed to this tomfoolery, and more people are going to push back against it. So maybe just exercise some common sense so we can all exist together. Because one day you're going to walk into an establishment where someone like this guy is going to be in there, except he's going to be a bit more prone to violence, so he's going to be a bit more prone to aggression, and he's not just going to tell you to get out. He's going to physically throw you out. I mean, we've seen it before, right? We spoke about the Just Stop Oil protesters, where I kept saying, and literally a week after I said it, it was on Sky News. People were punching them, throwing them out of the roads, dashing cones.
People are just driving through them now.
Yeah, one woman got run over. It's only a matter of time before you push people over the edge. Now, the Just Stop Oil protesters have pushed people over the edge. They're getting punched up now. They're getting run over. They're getting shit thrown at them, trampled over by people. And I'm not saying that I want this to happen to them, but I'm also not surprised. And I don't feel sorry for them. I ain't going to lose any sleep. You're blocking the roads, pissing people off. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 weeks might pass, a month, a couple of months. But how long do you think before your luck runs out? How much patience do you think people have? They're just not going to stand for it. So stop trying to BS people all the time. Stop trying to force them to live life the way you want them to. Stop inconveniencing them. Just leave things the way they were. The way they were, they were working just fine.